So let me guys, that don't make no sense. Hey, it's Sue in the restricted section. Today I thought I would do a review of my January TBR jar pick. I didn't read it until February, but it's okay, at least I read it. And that is The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas, and this edition was translated by Lowell Bear. And this is a classic action-adventure novel that follows a young man named D'Artagnan, and he travels from his hometown to Paris, and this is set in the, I think, 1600s. And he wants to become a musketeer, but there are no openings, so he can't yet. But then he befriends these three rather infamous musketeers named Athos, Porthos, and Aramis. And then he becomes sort of embroiled in this crazy intrigue involving the cardinal and the queen and this woman named goes by Milady a lot of the time. And there's, you know, just a lot going on, a lot of different people involved in this. And this book was a lot of fun. I feel like that's not what you typically think of when you think of a classic novel. It's like it being just a lot of fun, but it was. And it was also really funny. The Musketeers, all three of them, well, mainly Porthos and Aramis, I'd say, are just kind of quite the characters that you have to chuckle at sometimes with their antics, especially Porthos. He's kind of a... If he were living in today, he'd be like a dude bro, kind of, I think. But I had actually, prior to reading this, I had never even seen any of the TV adaptations or movie adaptations of this story, so I really didn't know anything about it. In fact, I didn't even really, I was actually surprised that the Three Musketeers are not actually the main characters of the story. I didn't know that. D'Artagnan is the main character. But this is one of those books that I feel like people are kind of intimidated by it. At least I know I was a little bit. Even though I had already read The Count of Monte Cristo and really loved it, I was still kind of intimidated by this because it's the size, which, I mean, Count of Monte Cristo is larger, but I read that back in high school whenever I don't know, I feel like I didn't even think of things like that when I was in high school. I was just like, I'm gonna read this. But now I almost think, for some reason, larger books kind of intimidate me more now than they did then. I don't know why. But yeah, because this sat on my shelf for years. I've owned this book for years and haven't read it until now. And I gotta say that, I mean, it did take me a long time to read this, but I think the main reason was because I was kind of having, like, had a rough couple of weeks in February, and when I'm having a rough time, I kind of just want to, like, veg out on the couch and watch TV. And don't usually feel like reading quite as much, so I did end up watching a lot of TV this month instead of reading. But this is actually, like I said, it's a fun book, and it's also... The language is not difficult. It should have been a really quick read, and under normal circumstances it probably would have been. The writing, while it is like very good, it's not difficult at all. So if you're intimidated by this because of the size or because it's a classic or because of how long ago it was written, don't be, because it's not a difficult book, but it is, I really, really liked it, and I do want to read, because this is actually book one of a series, which I also didn't know that The Three Musketeers was part of a series. But I think there's like 4 other books. The second one's called 20 Years After, I think, and then there's like a 3-part third installment. So there's like a book 3.1, 3.2, and then book 3 is The Man in the Iron Mask. I don't know. But I think I will, you know, eventually read the rest of the series, because I really like Alexander Dumas's writing, and I like his stories. They're really entertaining, and his characters are interesting. I could see him becoming one of my favorite writers. He already wrote one of my favorite books, which is The Count of Monte Cristo. But this one I did not like quite as much as The Count of Monte Cristo. I just like I mean, I love stories of revenge, so I liked that one more than this one, but I did end up giving this one 4 out of 5 stars. So, let me know if you guys have read this and what you thought of it. And that's gonna be it for me. There will be links below where you can find myself and Megan other places on the internet. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.